Hello YouTube! This is a beginner tutorial in which I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful bracelet or necklace using wire like one that you can see here. The result is lovely and you don't need a lot of things to make this. So let's get started. Let's start off with what you will need for this project. Firstly, you will need wire. This wire that you can see here is copper wire that's been silver plated. And it's a very good choice for beginners. You can also find sterling silver wire, but that's more expensive, and I would recommend against using sterling silver from the beginning because you're bound to waste some wire at the beginning when you're a beginner. So this is an inexpensive wire and it looks very good, so I would recommend getting this. And the gauge that you can see here is 22. That's a very good gauge for making jewelry. If you want to make your own findings like clasps, get 20 or 18 gauge wire. You will of course need beads to make this kind of bracelet or necklace. And these beads in here, they are glass pearls that have a very beautiful color. They look very, very pale lime green and they have a yellowish tint to them. I love this color. It's a very fresh springy color. To me, it reminds me of spring. I am also using some seed beads that you can see here. I will tell you later on why I'm using seed beads. Also, I have a clasp. This one is a hook and eye clasp, and this is a very good clasp type to use for bracelets and necklaces. What it has a hook. This one that you can see here, it has a loop here so you can attach it. And it has the so-called eye here that slides onto the hook. These come in many different sizes and many different ways, so check them out at your local craft or beading store. You will also need 2 jump rings. The size of the jump rings is completely up to you. These are pretty big ones, but if you want to have smaller ones, then by all means use those. And you will need 3 kinds of pliers. The first kind is these, which are round nose pliers. So they have a round nose, so you can see here, and it needs to be smooth. You will also need chain nose pliers. Chain nose pliers, they have a nose that tapers towards the end, but they need to be absolutely smooth from the inside because otherwise you will mar your wire. And it's a good thing to have 2 pairs of chain nose pliers, for example, for opening the jump rings. And of course you will need a cutting plier which cuts the wire. So that's pretty much what you will need for this project. Now let's get on to actually start off by cutting a piece of wire. It can be about 2 to 3 to even 4 inches, just what you feel comfortable working with. And then work it a little bit in your hands like that. Just I'm pulling it through my fingers, just making it more supple and more easy to work with, kind of warmer. But this is really something you don't have to do, but I just like to do it because it also straightens up the wire a little bit. So, okay, let's start off. And this is how to make a wrapped loop because this is the basis of making these kind of pieces of jewelry. And you will need your round nose pliers. And what you will need to do is grip the wire a little off, maybe an inch, inch and a half from the top, and grab it with pretty close to the tip of your pliers. If you grip it from here, you will get a big loop. But since we don't want the loops to be the focal point of our piece of jewelry, I will do a small loop, so I will grip it from here. And start off by pushing the top wire back, just like that, so that it's horizontal in there. And now it's time to reposition our pliers. So I'm gripping onto the bottom piece of wire here that you can see, but I need to grip this one. So what I'm doing is I'm just turning my pliers like that. So now I'm holding on to the top piece of wire. And next I'm going to bring this piece of wire here over like that to the front. So let me do that. Bring it on over like that. And now that I brought it here, I need to reposition my pliers again. So what I'm doing is I'm changing my pliers to be horizontal like this. And then I push it back like that. Hope you can see. Let me try to sharpen it. There we go. And then for this to be a more complete round shape, what I'm doing here is I'm bringing it on over just a little bit like that. So we get a nice round loop like that. If this piece of wire is going up like that, don't worry, you can just push it up, down a little bit. Okay, so that was it for the round nose pliers, and now I need to take my chain nose pliers, and what I'm doing here is I'm gripping the loop very tightly, and I'm just starting to wrap this stem here around, or this piece of wire, I'm wrapping it around the stem. I like to wrap 2 to 3 times, and of course it depends completely on you. And now you need your cutting pliers, and you need to trim this wire from here. So I'm just trimming it as close as I can, but there usually is a little bit of a sharp end, like you can see there. So you need your chain nose plier again, and just press that, sort of tuck that in. There we go. Now let's start off with our beads, and I'm going to use a small seed bead here first because I like the way it looks, and because also if you have a big hole in your bead, it will prevent the bead from sort of like moving around a lot in there. So then I'm going to put in my main bead and yet another small seed bead here at the top like this. So this is one link in our piece of jewelry. Now we need to do the wrapped loop again, but this time here on the top, and just grip the wire right on top of the bead that you just did and do the same thing. Push it back, reposition your pliers, bring it on over, reposition again, and bring it back like that, and then just a little turn like that. There we go. And I'm taking again my chain nose plier and holding tight onto the loop, I wrap the wire around the stem here a couple of times. And then what I need to do is again trim it as close as I can and take my chain nose, and here you need to be careful because I have glass beads here. So I don't want to break the bead. There we go. So here I have a basic link now in my necklace or bracelet. And let me show you here how you will continue from this point. Continuing after you've made your first link, put it aside for a moment and take another piece of wire. And start off the same way that you just did. So leave a little bit here on the top, a little bit of wire. Pull it back, so start making your wrapped loop. Bring it forth. I'm doing it quicker here now. Reposition and do the little turn. But this time stop here. Make sure that you have enough space here so you can open it slightly and slide in the first link like this. And now you will continue working from here. So holding on to the loop, I will simply again wrap the wire around the stem a couple of times like this, and the same stuff that you've just done you will just continue doing. So tuck the end in like that, and then continue putting on your beads. Make another wrapped loop there, put it aside, take another piece of wire, and again do this. So this is how you keep making a wrapped wire necklace or bracelet. Keep making the links until you reach your desired length. You can try it around your neck to see when that is. Then it's time to attach the clasp. you need a jump ring, or actually 2 jump rings as I showed you at the beginning, and you need 2 chain nose pliers. And the jump rings, they are cut at some point. Let me sharpen here. Here you can see there's the cut. You need 2 pieces of chain nose pliers, and open the jump ring by pushing one plier towards yourself and pushing the other one away from yourself. So like that. Never pull it apart. Never pull it like this way to the side, because that will weaken the strength and structure of it. And slip it onto the other end of your necklace. And then take either one, it doesn't really matter which one, but one piece of your clasp, and also put that in there. And close your jump ring. There you go. One end is ready. And then do the same for the other end. There we go. And then I'm going to put the eye here. Close it. And now your necklace is done, and you can close it. There you go. You have a beautiful necklace, or a bracelet if you rather would make a bracelet. It's that easy. And like I said, you can make necklaces and bracelets of different lengths with this technique. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye!